Well, this past weekend marked the end of the 100 deadliest days of the year. That begins on Memorial Day, runs through Labor Day. The Nevada Office of Traffic Safety says in that time frame, the state saw 101 deaths on the roads, and that's up from 89 last year. Recently, more than 26 state agencies have come together to help change that with Joining Forces initiative. And joining us live to talk about all of that is the Department of Public Safety's Public Information Officer, Andrew Bennet. Thanks for joining us, Mr. Bennet. What is it about the Las Vegas driver or the environment of Las Vegas that makes it so hard to bring down these numbers?
Unfortunately, we continue to see some of these key behaviors that lead to these fatal crashes. The top two factors continuing to be speed and impairment. And this is something that we try to address through education and enforcement. We thought we were a little bit successful this Labor Day weekend by reducing fatalities by half. We had 4 fatalities this weekend, which is still 4 away from our ultimate goal of 0 fatalities, though.
You know, you'd think the pandemic shutdown would kind of bring those numbers down just naturally. So why isn't that helping?
You know, unfortunately, in June being a prime example, we saw a 40% increase in roadway fatalities. And again, this was a time that we were telling people to stay at home. But unfortunately, these drivers took advantage of the open roadways and decided to speed. Our DUI arrests through the DUI strike team was up almost 77% during the pandemic. And again, these are simple things that we're asking folks to do is slow down and always drive always drive sober.
You see those stories, especially in Southern California, where the reduced traffic on the roadways is actually encouraging people to get out and drive their hot cars even faster. I don't know if that's happening here, but is it true that maybe some of these fatalities in Nevada are actually out-of-state drivers?
Very few are, and this is a question that we often get. Unfortunately, this is a problem here at home, and it's a problem with our drivers here in the state. We can only look at if they have a Nevada driver's license or not. But over 85% of the fatalities in the state of Nevada are Nevada drivers.
So you say you are encouraged by the Labor Day weekend stats, though?
Correct. So, you know, we had a variety of different stats this Labor Day weekend. We had over 75 arrests statewide, and we had 4 fatalities this weekend, 2 being pedestrians and 2 being in vehicles.
In your estimation, I don't want to get you in trouble here, but in your estimation, does NHP have an adequate funding and the manpower to keep this down?
So the Office of Traffic Safety, we hope to, encourage, and that's what the Joining Forces program is all about, is using these grant funding overtimes to be able to enforce the laws at the best we can, especially when we're talking about traffic safety. The loss of a life on a roadway is something that we have to prevent, and we hope between the funding that's provided and the funding that's provided by the federal government through grants, we'll be able to keep our roadways safe.
26 state agencies, that's a big order. How's the coordination of that effort going?
It's extremely successful. We saw this weekend, just on Saturday alone, we had Henderson, North Las Vegas, Highway Patrol, and Las Vegas Metro working together and joining forces to eliminate the threat of impaired drivers on our roadways. And those agencies alone had over 24 arrests just within a 12-hour shift. And coordination has been extremely successful, making sure we have the people in the right places.
We're heading into the holiday season, though. Is that typically a high accident season?
Correct. Unfortunately, we're moving out of the 100 deadliest days, moving into the holiday season. Halloween through New Year's Eve is the second highest deadly period throughout the calendar year that we have those increase in fatalities. And so same thing, we'll have an additional PSA coming out talking about these key driving behaviors, and we will follow that up with enforcement. There's a time for education and there's a time for enforcement, and we have to do everything that we can to keep our roadways safe.
All right, Andrew Bennet, the Department of Public Safety Public Information Officer, thanks for joining us and giving us some answers, and we'll be right back.
Thank you so much.